Uh, the first topic of the evening, importance of chanting. Now, in most of our programs, we have chanting. Now, you're wondering why we do this chanting and why the same mantras are chanted over and over again. You know, the Monday meditation or be it the Kriyas. And sometimes you do tend to wonder why do you chant the same mantra virtually every day or every other day, repeatedly so many times. See, there's a reason to that. I mean, we are not doing something without a reason. Just as your physical body, which is made up of 5 elements, requires nourishment. Now, how do you nourish your physical body? With food. And the healthier food you eat, the more nourishes your body. Now, just as you would like to replenish your body's vital ingredients, or you would say, like, you take vitamin pills and you eat good food, particularly immunity building food, or food that like helps bone marrow, or helps bone strength, density, or muscle strength, like various foods give you that kind of a thing. Similarly, you have a astral body or a spirit body. Now, how do you nourish that spirit body? Because that also needs nourishment. Just as your physical body needs nourishment, your astral body also needs nourishment. And the only way you can do that, because A, you can't see it readily, B, it's not made up of a medium with which you can nourish it, in the sense you don't know how astral matter works. So the only way you can nourish it is by chanting mantras. Now you'll say, what is the connection between chanting mantras and my astral body or my spirit body? Well, there is a connection. The connection is like this, that you see, when you chant something, it forms a sound wave, right? And that wave causes a vibration. Now your astral body is also in tune with vibrations. That is why you say, okay, I feel the vibe, I feel the vibration. Who is feeling that? Your astral body is feeling that. So your astral body is very susceptible to vibrations. And these mantras that you chant, they create a certain vibration in your auric field. It is this chanting that acts like a food supplement, or say a nourishment to your astral body. Sometimes if the chanting is powerful, it actually heals the astral body. But by and large, it is like a nourishment for the spirit body or the astral body that you have. And that is about the only way you can do it. Yes, there are other ways, like energetic means are there. But that is more related to the energy in your body. But as far as your actual astral body is concerned, this is the way you can help it to heal or keep it healthy and fresh, like you would your physical body, through taking proper diet and food. That is why it is important that mantras are chanted. And even repeatedly, the same mantra is chanted. Now you will say, why chant mantras? Why not sing a song? I mean, that can also be a vibration. The point is, mantras have a certain power and meaning, which helps create that right vibration for the astral body to nourish itself. You see, mantras are, I'll just give you a very short significance of mantras. Mantras are the one of the three important aspects of Tantra Yoga. Now, Tantra Yoga is not something that you have to be scared of, because Tantrics are usually associated with demonic practices. No, it's not like that. Tantra is a certain spiritual, you can say, path. Now, the fact that it is misused and people use it to cause pain and suffering to others is not the fault of that science. It's like you have a knife in the house. You need a knife in the house because you need to cut your vegetables and various other things to cook your food. But that same knife can be taken to cut somebody's throat also, or plunge into somebody's stomach. So you can't say there's something wrong with the knife. It's how you use it, right? So similarly, Tantra is a very significant and a powerful spiritual path. And it has three aspects. Tantra has three aspects. There is mantra, yantra, and tantra. The most powerful and the most important is mantra, which is a set of syllables, sounds, sentences, sometimes a paragraph, sometimes longer than that, which contain either a certain meaning, which is significant, but more importantly, they contain a certain power. They are usually coined or given by a realized master. But when he gives it, he puts power into that mantra for posterity. So whenever that mantra is chanted, it will release a certain power that that sage, saint or realized individual has put into that. Now, that is one aspect of Tantric Yoga. The other aspect is Yantra. What is Yantra? Yantra are certain designs, sometimes certain objects, which encapsulate the mantra and help to release it in the appropriate place at the appropriate time. So generally, mantra and yantra go together. They can be used separately, but in most practices, tantra and mantra and yantra are used in conjunction. So what happens is, a practitioner of tantra will use the mantra to empower and encapsulate that power of the mantra in a certain yantra. Now that yantra can be anything. Also yantra can act independently, but normally they do act in conjunction with the mantra. The power of that mantra is, you can say, harnessed in the yantra, and then it will release that power over a period of time or in a certain place where the mantra may or may not be chanted. So, in fact, these symbols that you use, like in Reiki or something, they are an example of yantra. The power is encapsulated in that design, in that drawing, and you chant the name of that symbol to release it when you draw that mantra. So similarly, I am just giving you an example, but there are many other ways in which yantras are used. Yantra is also a form of sacred geometry, and certain yantras that are drawn and empowered with a certain mantra become extremely powerful. I mean, they can They can change a lot of material things, which are connected to the elements. They can also bring wealth and stuff like that. Means these are the things in which they are used, or sometimes misused. The third aspect of Tantric Yoga is Tantra itself. Tantra is the combination of mantra and yantra. So what happens is, these are rituals. So certain mantras and tantras are only, you can say, sort of they have the effect if you do certain rituals, and those are called the tantric rituals. So normally they have a yagya or a havan or something of that sort, and then they have certain rituals that they do in that, where they chant the mantras and possibly use some yantra. So tantra is the combination of mantra, yantra and rituals. That is the tantra. Therefore, mantras do have a very powerful and significant effect. That is why when we chant a mantra, and we don't chant, say, your favorite actor's name, or you don't sing a song, then you will say, okay, that is also sound, this is sound, so why not the same thing? No, there is a difference. And the difference is this, that the mantra is given a certain power, it releases a certain power. Now, not all mantras are the same, of course, they have different effects. But when it is given by a guru, or a sadguru, or a very powerful, realized person, then its effect is always different. Like, you can pick out any mantra, there are so many books that have the mantras written. You can pick out one and chant it, but yes, it will have effect. I'm not saying it completely does not have effect. But when it is given by a very powerful entity, because his intent is behind that, his power is behind that, that mantra obviously has a very different meaning. And the effect is definitely far, far more and far quicker. So that is essentially why we chant these mantras regularly and repeatedly. I know it sometimes gets boring because it's the same mantra you're chanting every Monday or every Sunday or every day. And sometimes you think, what benefit is that to you? But no, there is a very significant benefit. And one of the major benefits is that it is food for your astral body, your spirit body. It nourishes it every time that you do. So I thought I'd just kind of let you know on this, because a lot of our programs have chanting. That is why.